Hello, my beautiful friends. I wanted to come on today to talk about what's coming into this world, divine feminine, in a much stronger process. Again, I know we've touched on this before about the fact that, the masculine is kind of taking a step back. I mean, we're just seeing a whole lot more toxic masculine right now, and not that men are toxic. It's literally the energy that's going on in the world and the collective. We are seeing things that we're not liking, right? The things that need to change, the things that we are all feeling like there's too much control, there's too much regulation, there's too much of the things that none of us are enjoying. And so this divine feminine, which is unconditional love. And again, it's not about women, but it's resulting in women stepping up and not allowing the status quo to continue. You'll see a lot of people, a lot of women are coming into entrepreneurship, are coming into being light workers and business owners and a lot of this stuff. And even if you look at society in general, there's women that are stepping out of relationships in a big way because we are being called or moving towards something different out of the same status quo that relationship has been. So there's been a lot of change going on. And again, I think we all kind of feel it. There's a lot of women that are deciding that they are not in a relationship and okay with that and just being okay with being strongly in themselves. And the divine feminine is a strong feminine energy. And so, what do we mean by feminine? Feminine isn't, like I said, it's not about man and woman. It is the nurturing, but flow state. And so, there is some structure behind it to a point, but it's in more creation and strength. Feminine strength than it is about the masculine protector strength. And that's literally what's kind of going on in the shifting that's happening is that there's been this structure for many, many years of how things have to be and the whole hierarchy of everything. And that's being shaken up right now. And that's why we're all feeling chaos because it's literally being shaken up. And so this is what I want to share today is we have this infinite source that we are all connected with. Again, going back to the God source universe, again, infinite intelligence, like these things that we are connected to, that we don't need to see the whole picture. Again, control is one of the things that's being shaken up. We don't need to have control, but we have intuition as the feminine. We have inner guidance systems. We've been told all of our life that we need to seek the answers outside of us from the time we were little, where our parents knew right from wrong, teachers knew right from wrong, our bosses knew right from wrong. And that's the part that's being shooken up. Like we are instead of seeking answers outside of us, we are moving into the feminine, which is within, which is that flow state. And when we tap into those internal resources, into love, into life and expression from a different way, and instead of being controlled by the outside, we're moving to understanding our own uh, guidance system. So we have this inner guidance system. It's our feeling, it's intuition, it can be our higher source or higher, so I'm going up, our higher state, or you could call it your connection to God, the divine connection to inner wisdom, to more of the collective consciousness that's going on. We are all tapped into that infinite resource. We are all tapped into infinite wisdom, but we've spent so much of our lives or so much over the last, couple centuries seeking and knowing what's going on outside of us, at least the last century. We've been told to collect information from the internet and have so much information at our fingertips. But that's the thing is that we've gotten into the almost obsessed with finding information with outside of us. And that's why our world is being shaken up right now, is because it's like, hello, you have an inner guidance system. You absolutely have access to all kinds of knowledge, and it's not out there. It's not even on the internet. The internet is the manifestation of the intelligence we are all connected to. It's the physical manifestation of that connection, but none of it is information that you can't already find within yourself. If we go within, we've spent a lot of time, again, generations over the last few generations, learning to go outside and connecting to energy outside of us, finding love outside of us, finding material things as a resource. And those things are finite. Everything outside of us is finite. It's limited. And so when we have been tapped into this limited source of mindset, we have lost the opportunity of that we are connected to something infinite, to something that is not finite, that continues to go. And if we just get better at tapping into the wisdom we already have within, which is the feminine, which is what's going on right now, we have this incredible source. And we haven't learned to trust it. We haven't learned to allow it to guide us. We haven't learned, and that's what a lot of the light workers that you're seeing that are coming into this world that are here to teach, is to understand that there's more within than without, is to help us understand what intuition is, to help us learn to trust and hone our intuition and listen to the intelligence that we are all interconnected to. And so this is where passion comes from. This is where desire comes from. All of these things are already within us. We see it in different sources in our life, in relationship, and when we are all artists. I just want to throw this out here. Like, when I'm talking art, I don't mean, yes, we're all creators. Yes, we all create from infinite source, but we also create from that light, that inner spark that I talked about, that we are all interconnected with. And when we tap into that inner spark, that's our creation. The thing that drives us, the thing that feels we're very passionate about. Like I said, I say we're all artists, as in it can be art. It can be working with multiple different materials that, artists that work with in the traditional way of art. But we are all artists in the fact that our life is our canvas. What we create in our life is art, is our own understanding and expression. Again, artists, when we think about the traditional sense, they are expressing their vision, their ideas in a source material. Whereas when I'm talking about all of us as artists, is our creation, and that life is our canvas, and we get to create whatever it looks like. But we have lost the idea that we have, thinking that we don't have control of that canvas, that we are just working a job and doing a role and playing a part. And that is so not the truth. The truth is that you are the artist of your life. You get to create it in whatever it feels like. Yes, there is infinite source, God, wisdom that is out there that is supporting us in the journey. But we still have not control, as in we can't, move the pawns exactly where we wanted to go, because there's always a path. I saw something recently about the GPS theory. And for those that don't know, it's like if you're trying to get to a destination, you know what the destination is. Say it is Toronto or New York. It doesn't matter. So we aim for that destination. If you're using a GPS, if you miss that turn in the path in which you're supposed to go, it's going to recalculate. It's going to give you a different path. So God, source, universe gives us the path. It knows where we want to go. It knows what our desire is. So it lights up a path. And by how we find that path, it's what lights up inside of us. It's that inner guidance system, our feeling, our emotion. When things feel good, that's God, source, universe going, here's the path. When it feels bad, when it feels gross, when it feels uncomfortable, those are the spaces where it's like, that's not where we're supposed to go. And so then we get to tap into, when we start honing this gift that is within us, our inner guidance system, our intuition, our feeling within us, our inner guidance system, we get to transverse that path to our desire, to where we want to go. The desire you have within you is within you for a reason. It's been gifted to you. There is an exact path for you to get there. And when we talk about letting go of control, is the fact that there's multiple different ways to get there. There's thousands of paths to get to where you want to go. And the part where we have control is we get to choose which path we want. The fact that we have the power of choice. We get to choose any one of those infinite sources of paths to get there. So even if, again, going back to the GPS theory, we miss the next path that's meant for us or could be meant for us, there's another one waiting. That's where we have control. No, we don't get to say control every piece of the way, but we do, because we get to choose. That's the freedom of choice. So going back to the point about this feminine energy, is that when we tap into this source that's already within us, when we tap into our inner spark, what feels good for us, what lights us up, again, Artists find it when they're painting, when they're sculpting, when they're in the creation mode where they actually let go of control, very similar like our life. When we let go of controlling the exact outcome, the how it needs to work out every single time, when we let go of that and we embrace the divine feminine, which is the fact that we are strong, powerful beings and that we have control of our life and control of the path of where we get to choose where we want to go. And we get to create what that looks like. Again, we have this life that is a canvas in front of us. We get to choose the path to get there. Every time we make a different choice, that new path on the GPS is going to light up. There's all kinds of ways to get to what we want, but we've spent so long focusing on somebody else's destination. Like I said, for the last few generations, we've been given a path, a destination. Get a job, get married, have kids, retire. That's someone else's path. That's somebody else's GPS. We get to choose what that looks like. Yes, within that, we can also choose what job we do, what role we do. But where does that light us up? If you're doing a job that you love and lights you up, then perfect. That's the right path. If you're not, you get to choose whatever that path may be. And this is where a lot of us are changing. Even the next generation, down, aren't fitting into the systems that we used to fit into because they already are coming into this world knowing there's something different. There's a different way. They are coming in at this time because that's the energy the collective is moving to. This divine feminine. Again, it's not a man or woman or man. Divine feminine and masculine and feminine are in each of us. And we get to lean on different parts. There's the toxic of both, and there's the divine of both. And we get to figure out, even in our power of choice, we get to figure out which side of that spectrum that we lean towards, divine or not so divine. And we get to choose that too. That's who we are, how we get to show up in the world. So we get to choose that. Unconditional love, divine feminine. Divine masculine looks like support, the protector, but not as in I need to stand guard, but it's allowing space. So we all have both of those within us, allowing us space to be the protector of space, of what we are meant to do or feel into. So we get to be both. But it's this feminine energy that's coming into the world that's creating the shifts and shaking things up because we've all gotten to the point where we're like, this doesn't feel good anymore. When we look at the world and the society and what's happening, we get to release that. What we focus on grows. So we get to choose, again, we have the power of choice, what we focus on every day, which means we get to create that canvas. We get to choose what we focus on. We get to move our focus to what we want and what we choose and what feels good for us. And the more of us that choose that allows permission for more to choose that too. So I just wanted to say, trust what you get to create. Trust what feels good for you. If you have people around you that are in this work, by all means, reach out to whoever feels good for you and learn a little more about what intuition is, what light looks like, what trust feels like in your body. These are things that we have not been taught very well. And you have this beautiful gift. And when we get into the flow state, the divine feminine state, and get to create from our own source, from what lights us up, from the passion that feels good for us, this is where the world changes, my friends. Anyway, that's enough for today. Have a beautiful day. Please feel free to comment below, subscribe, share with anybody that you feel called who might enjoy this message as well. Have a beautiful day. We'll talk soon.